You're gonna have two of them now.
Okay, we'll call the meeting to order at 6 p.m. May we have roll call, please? Here.
Vice Chair Urquidez,
Here.
Commissioner Navarro,
Here.
Commissioner Gallardo, and Commissioner Alonso.
Here.
Can I have a motion to excuse Commissioner Zavala?
I'll make the motion.
Have a motion, will someone second?
I'll second that.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great. We can stand for the pledge.
Commissioner Gallardo.
I pledge allegiance to
The flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let's play ball.
All right, thank you for that. Now we move on to agenda review. Are there any changes to the agenda?
No changes, Chair.
Okay, public comments from the audience regarding items not on the agenda. Do we have any public comments? I see two people participating remotely. If you'd like to make a public comment, please raise your hand. Seeing no hands raised, we'll close public comments, move on to consent agenda. We have one item, adoption of the August 5th, 2025 Planning Commission meeting minutes. The only thing on the minutes that I noticed was under the public hearings at the bottom of the page. I don't know that Commissioner Gallardo thirded the motion. I thought that was Vice Chair Urquidez. This was on the fire building. Do you remember?
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, if we could change that third to reflect Vice Chair Urquidez. Other than that, if there's no other changes, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve them with the change.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
All right.
Aye. Okay, we can go next to business items. Our first item is a general plan status update. We have a staff report.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Paul Mugen, on behalf of the Community Development Department. I thank the Planning Commission for being here this evening, given our limited business items. And we appreciate this opportunity to review on where we are with the general plan update with the 2025 to 2045. We've got the PowerPoints going. First, I'd like to review a few interesting facts about the general plan. One is, does the current plan ever expire? We all talk about our 20-year plan, and the last plan is a 2005 to 25 plan. Technically speaking, the plan never actually expires. So we are not up against solid deadlines upon which the previous plan ends and a current new plan begins. Said not too many jurisdictions test approving projects with a plan that's over 20 years old. Generally, they're updated every 20 years and sooner than that. Also interesting, the housing element coincides with updates of the general plan. Though the housing element calendar is only 8 years, it is to fall during the period where our plan has exhausted its normal life of 20 years. And as you know, we are certified by HCD. We're ready, according to the law, to move forward with the update for the remainder of the plan. I will be leading that effort under the supervision of the city manager, of course, and obviously the city council and planning commission will be, planning commission really more so than the city council, critical decision makers in review of the entire document. Brent Salama is assisting the team along with my and more on the team in due course. Before I bring up the next 4 points, I'd like to draw your attention to the material that's been left at your dais seats. That same material is available for the public as you enter the city council chambers. And we hear repeatedly about what the general plan is. It's the constitution of your city. It's what everything is based on. It's a lot of various things, but what you have in front of you is really what the general plan is. All of the policies consist in this book are there listed one after another, up to 275 of them. And so in your existing plan, this plan here really is nothing more than those policies in your hand. If you read them like a book as a list, you'll find that some of the policies are so general, you'd wonder, well, what does this mean? Some are ambiguous, some obviously make sense, some are repetitive, some have never been used before. So it's an interesting exercise in your spare time to just read the list, because really, that's what we're talking about. New policies for the next 20 years. Excuse me. The last 5 pages of the plan are preliminary analyses we've already conducted on some of those policies and the activities and programs that attach to those policies. Those pages provide the Planning Commission a flavor for what you'll be tasked to review once we begin bringing entire elements to the Planning Commission for your review. When we do so, we'll be bringing highlights, things that we believe strongly in, things that we've changed from the previous plan, so that we can review the new plan efficiently. And that's really an important word, because it's a large undertaking. Returning to the slide where I was, the steering committee. We've had a lot of questions about the steering committee. I'd like to share with the Planning Commission the team's conception of what we hope the steering committee would be. It's a non-Brown Act committee appointed by let's see, I got it here. Here it is. Steering committee is a non-Brown Act working group appointed by the city manager to serve as an advisory group to the general plan team. Their purpose is to provide high-level user-end advice to produce manifest improvements to already considered general plan policy developments. The groups are intended to be small, transitory, subject to sunset, and helpful. By that, examples for your consideration. Take the circulation example for the idea is that a small group should not be any more than doesn't have most. or experts in their field. People like, well, Commissioner Gallardo, for example, man who's on his bicycle so often probably knows more about the street system in this city than anybody in the city. Similarly, a school bus driver or a postal service driver, mass transit drivers, truckers, in short, people who use the streets more than most of us and are expected to really understand and see nuances that maybe are lost upon the rest of us. Get the group together, short period of time, you review the circulation element, and you draw whatever input you can from that group. When that work is done, they sunset. It dissolves. That committee will not weigh in, say, Parks and Recreation element. They will have their own steering committee, and they will consist of, for example, Commissioner Mendoza, a coach, participants in our recreation programs, parents, perhaps, of children involved in our programs, people who interface with the very policies that we're trying to develop. And presumably, the steering committees would be subject to the same similar rules. They volunteer their service. City manager would blesses their service. You serve, provide input to we staff, and we incorporate that input as appropriate for presentation to decision makers. And so the steering committee sunsets, their work is over. And this is the idea behind the steering committees. It's not set in stone. We can change it, but that's the orientation, and the team has created them, going back to when the city council approved them. It's also important to realize that we will need contract consultants, and EIR is going to be required for the general plan, and some consultants will be required for specialized services, primarily in circulation and some of the mapping areas, some other subjects, but there will be a need for some contract consultant. RFPs are public documents. I say that because RFPs exist on the internet that you can all draw from to learn more about, well, what do other jurisdictions do to prepare their general plans. Normally, these RFPs come in at between $1 million and $2 million for the plan and also the environmental review. The decision to produce the plan internally is not a decision to be taken lightly. It's a very serious effort, and the goal really is to get to this little paragraph on your screen where the city council adopts not general plan, the zoning code that flows from the general plan. Parts of the zoning code will be prepared coincident with the general plan as we produce each element. We shall be working on the new title for the zoning code. We strongly believe that by doing the general plan internally will save resources, but more importantly, it'll be a better plan because we're going to be closer to every policy issue that we review, as opposed to paying an outside contractor who's doing 15 of these at the same time. Additionally, we have significant help in that effort. The Governor's Office of Planning and Research provides, these are their guidelines on the general plan, 277 pages, chapter by chapter by chapter, divided by element. In these guidelines, I notice coffee stains on them already, so doing well. You have boxes that have complete checkoff sheets, so we're not missing anything. Excellent guidance, we follow it to the best of our ability, page by page, because it's so easy to use. Like I said, it's broken down element by element. The team is also reminded such as community engagement and the other city departments. I don't think I have to remind the planning commission between Mr. Slum and myself, we have 34 years of experience combined, over 400 planning commission meetings between the two of us, and both of us have processed approximately 1,000 permits. So at that level, we're very familiar with what we're doing, and hopefully can lend strong credence to the entire process. It's also worth noting and bringing to your attention the outstanding contributions that we expect from Imani Harrigan. Born and raised in the city of Greenfield, she joins the team. She holds a Bachelor's of Science degree from the College of Architecture, Arts and Planning, and Urban and Regional Studies from Cornell University. It's an Ivy League university, and her contributions are important because we can have all of the practical experience in the world. But Ms. Harrigan brings to us that the academia will know what is going on in academia with related with the new elements, of which there are 3: climate change, environmental justice, and clean air. Clean air. So we think we put together a nice, strong team combined with the steering committee that the commission have good confidence that we're going to bring together a nice product for your review. Mr. Slum is been assigned and is taking on the land use element. Almost all of the other elements flow from the land use element. And again, the guidelines put it succinctly how it should be done. Required content of a land use element must designate the proposed general distribution, general location, and extent of land uses for the following: housing, business, industry, open space, recreation facilities, educational facilities, public buildings and grounds, and solid and liquid waste disposal. In short, just about every facility in the city is covered in the land use plan. And that land use plan is in the form of our zoning map. That zoning map is, in the end, what we're going to end up with upon a review of all of our land uses. In the middle of this slide, you'll notice that we've listed the permits that exist in our current plan. Some of these might raise questions like a minor use permit versus a temporary use permit. A use permit is runs with the land. It shouldn't matter if it's a use a minor or a regular use permit. The effect is the same. The column on the right shows some of the additional issues that are going to be reviewed from the old plan transferred to the new plan. Take, for example, the artisan, agricultural, and visitor serving zoning district. Now, you may not know too much about that district because, to the best of my knowledge, it's never been used in 20 years. It was prepared, premised on development of the Yanks Air Museum complex, which we're still waiting. So, there are chapters and parts of chapters in the existing plan that are ripe for a significant updating, deletion, and even modernization. This slide, example of circulation completeness checklist. I don't have to read it. You can see that it's comprehensive, covers all of the important issues in circulation. We expect the circulation element to require a consultant to do some of the engineering mapping. The numbers on your left represent the government code, which is the location where the government code discusses these particular issues. So once again, the governor's guidelines are very helpful. This is the last slide. Be quiet and invite your question. The calendar items for the remaining months up to the end of the year. We have scheduled one element each month. September, the introductory to land use element, the residential zoning in October, in November, the commercial zoning district, and in December, the industrial zoning district. If I'm not mistaken, these workshops are scheduled to be held here in City Hall, and we hope to have a large participation. However, again, we are conscientious about the memo by committee. We don't want so many. We want to keep control of the process so we can continue to make forward improvements. You'll recall when the county somewhat lost control of their plan and had to do 7 or 8 versions of it over a period of years. That got a little burdensome for everybody. Also, we've scheduled or are in the process rather of scheduling workshops in each of the city council districts so that every council member can have a more exclusive participation with those of us preparing the plan. With that, I will open my remarks, hopefully answer as many questions as I can. I would add one more final issue that relates to your supervision and the city council's supervision of our work. we are preparing currently a Gantt chart. Looks like this. And so we can put all of our taxes one after another and just manage the accomplishment of each element at a time in accordance with these graphs. So it's really easy to manage. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you for that staff report. Do you have any initial questions, or I can go to public comment? I'll open public comment. Are there any public comments? Seeing none, I'll close public comment and we can move on to planning commission and discussion and decision. Any thoughts? Comments?
I mean, I'm not sure if we're allowed to do this. I do have a question on something I'm reading here that was handed to us. Am I allowed to ask that?
Yeah.
Number 91. Just happened to catch my eye. Number 91 says, implement the Thorn Road interchange upgrade prior to installing the Pine Street Bridge. What's that about? I mean, for one thing, we don't have a Pine Street, we have a Pine Avenue, not a Pine Street.
No,
The-
I'm afraid.
I mean, are they talking about putting an additional bridge over the freeway prior to getting to Walnut?
I can't answer that. I apologize, Commissioner, but it's something we'll have to look at. Look into it.
We'll circle back to that, get some more information.
Okay.
So, the housing element lasts for 20 years. We're on our 20-year deadline. Is there a due date for this, general plan update? A targeted due date?
No, Chair, there is no due date. Target is we're shooting for a year. Yeah. It's only been recently that jurisdictions are figuring out that they can do these themselves instead of contracting them. For many, many years, it was an automatic contracted out. The city of Salinas is in their 4th year currently in their general plan. The big however to that is Salinas has a thing going. And they have for a number of years. So it's not surprising. We don't expect our plan to take 4 years, but if we get it finished in a year, that would be a good lift. The idea is bringing you 2 meetings a month to button down. One of them at a time.
Any other comments from Ms. Morgan? Okay, thank you. We'll move on to the second business item, which is the projects update. The staff report on that, please.
Evening, Commissioners.
Evening.
I do have a bit of a report. We contacted Ms. Barron and Ed Reinhardt, the architect. We found out that they're still having delays with PG&E. Therefore, since they still don't have power and service, they have not created the parking lot because the utilities for the electricity need to be undergrounded. But apparently she still wants to continue moving forward with her building, but unfortunately they're still facing PG&E delays. We contacted Valerie Nichols for the Yanks Air Museum. Unfortunately, we were only able to reach staff. A message was left asking about the status or if there will be an update or updated plans to be submitted to the city. However, we're still waiting back to hear. And then also this month on September 17th, we'll be having our first general plan workshop. And it will be for land use, but mostly introducing land use and the different zoning designations and how in the following months, each month will be a different zoning designation.
Okay, thank you. Any questions on the project's update information? Seeing none, I'll open public comment. And public comments, are you done?
Excuse me, Madam
Were you
Chair.
not done?
Sorry, we actually do have a project
Oh.
update.
Sorry,
A pizza place pulled their permit today.
for which place? Cheese?
Oh, for Santa Lucia.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
Who's
This,
that?
the people that came to us?
Yes, so
Oh.
they approved the plan, they were building and they finally, I'm sorry.
California Gourmet, I should say.
Yes,
that
they
right.
finally pulled the permit today, so.
All right. That's great news. Is that it? Okay, great. Back to opening public comment. Seeing none, we'll close public comment, move on to planning commission discussion and decision. I guess our decision would just be to accept the report. Yeah. Mm,
Do we need a motion for that?
Do we need to? No. No. Okay, there's no further comments on that. We can move to, there are no public hearings, there is no other business, so we're on to J, comments from planning commission and staff. This is the time on the agenda for planning commissioners and staff to make brief comments about items that are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the planning commission. I have a question or a concern, on the Walnut Avenue. Fronting, it's included in the Walnut specific plan. It is westbound Walnut, where they installed sidewalks, they installed the bike lane, and now there's parking there as well. I'm wondering why there's parking on the street where there's right next to a bike lane. If somebody opens their door, bike riders driving by, I don't know why that's there because it's fronting 3 acres of commercial that the Avila property was supposed to develop. So I'm wondering why where did that street parking come from? Because I do know on the EAH project, there was no street parking, and it was a major point not to have that. I mean, I get that parking is a problem, but it just seems bizarrely placed. Okay, yes, yes. Westbound. Northwest. Yeah, if you might want to drive by that and see that, because
When did they open for parking?
they just put the lines on over the weekend or right before the weekend. They put them on, then they took them off, and then they put them back on. So I did, but there, I don't know what parking this is supposed to be addressing. There's commercial across the street with plenty. That EAH was told not to have street parking. So what's going on? If it's the farm worker housing, there should be sufficient parking within the premises. I don't understand. And I worry about the proximity to the bike lane. And it doesn't look great. Anybody else have anything in our jurisdiction?
I don't know if this is for the jurisdiction or not, but they need to I know the state of California put into law that you had to be 8 feet away from the curbs or the turn. 8 feet, so it would give people a chance to either walk across the street or making a right-hand turn or a left-hand turn. And I notice over here, these cars are parking in the handicap, where you got handicap there to cross the wall, to cross the street, and nothing's being done. I've reported it a few times and nothing's being done. And there's gonna be an accident there one of these days, because I've come close to having an accident because of making a right-hand turn when somebody's coming down to make a left-hand turn or a right-hand turn there on De Leon. So it's a hazard there. They need, that's a state law that they have to be 8 feet away from the curbs. Okay, I'm referring to, you come up to a corner or a right-hand turn or left-hand turn, you have to be on that curve or on that street, you have to be 8 feet beyond the crosswalk on either side. And they're not doing that. They have to, there's so many cars parked over here now that it's unbelievable. But you have to, but the state law is that you have to be 8 feet, they have to paint a zone 8 feet in red. And they're not doing it because that's dangerous right there. They've done it on Dart, a place where they don't even need it because that's a dead end. But they put it there, but they haven't done it over here on Reed or De Leon. And I think it needs to be done. That's a state law. And that's went into effect a long time ago. Because they're supposed to strike the curb 8 feet from the corner, 8 feet 8 feet away from there.
Well, I thought they passed a new law that was supposed to be implemented, I believe it was the first of this year, where it's supposed to be 20 feet from the intersection. Back.
8 feet.
No, because the chief was here. He even told us about that, because I remember them painting them over by where I live. They went out and they measured it,
They measured 8 feet.
you know. You got $1 you wanna lose?
Well, whether it's 8 or 20, yeah, I know that it's happened throughout town. It's happened in my neighborhood too.
They're not implemented.
It's not consistent, it seems like.
They're supposed to do it all and then they just quit. And the same with the streets. They're just patching them up and the patch just tears it up again and I guess they don't have the funds for redoing the streets in some areas. I don't know. I know that I talked to what's her name? The one in charge of the,
Jamie?
yeah. And she told me that they don't have the funds right now, that they'll get to it when they can. And I talked to her over a year ago, almost 2 years ago, and she said, yeah, we're gonna be doing that. And I haven't seen nothing done yet. So I don't know what we can do about that. So
Maybe if we could get some information at the next meeting in response to these. Right. Yeah,
maybe they're not doing it, implement it because there's just no parking. But that's not an excuse. That's the state law. So,
well, we'll try to get some clarity on that. Maybe they'll come and give us a presentation. Any other comments? Okay, we can adjourn at 6:39. Thank you, everyone. Oh. Okay. Somebody want to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Yeah,
I'll
motion
second that.
and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Good night.